I wouldn't doubt that it was Jason Aldean's people who got the video pulled from CMT to create the controversy and the marketing. They wanted to rile these idiot ass right wingers up. And it's so easy. Just say you're getting censored by the left. The left's trying to cancel you, and it'll juice your numbers with that audience. Like trained fucking seals. You'll jump to the top of the iTunes charts because nobody that's cool uses iTunes anymore. It was LA County. I guess that's what it's like when you try it in a small town, right? That trans man was just, he tried it in a small town and that's what happened to him.
It's so obvious. They only have certain words they always say. Mm-hmm. That is it. You can have a car crash, a song about a car crash, and they go, we need a statement. Racist! Sexist! They hate black people! Is anyone buy that? If you saw this, I listened to the song, I watched the video. What baffles my mind is, okay, you can burn the...
You're going to say that there's nothing racist about it, but that courthouse, famous for a race riot and racial lynchings. And they're going to say it was featured on Hannah Montana, blah, 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 blah. It's a little different when Hannah Montana does it as opposed to this motherfucker making threats and alluding to a sundown town.
I watched the video. What baffles my mind is, okay, you can burn the place down. You can drag innocent elderly women out of a car and beat them, kick them. You can light churches on fire, but just don't write no songs about it. Exactly.
Well, I mean, it's not my side that lights churches on fire, Jim Brewer.
Now you're crossing the racial tension line.
Exactly.
And what's really wild about this whole thing is, and this is one of the most hilarious things. I'm not gonna play the song. This is Jason Aldean's Rearview Town. This is called Rearview Town, where apparently he talks about how he got out of a small town because it sucks. As somebody from a small town, I agree with that sentiment. Here is Jason Aldean from over the weekend.
I love our country. I want to see it restored to what it once was before all this bullshit started happening.
See, I want to see it restored to what it was. When are you talking about, Jason Aldean? When are you wanting to go back to? Pre-civil rights? Pre-civil war? What's your MO here?
I love my country, I love my family, and I will do anything to protect that. I can tell you that right now.
It's just faux patriotism.
A lot of things out there, and one thing I love, you guys know how it is this day and age, cancel culture is a thing. That's something that, if people don't like what you say, they try and make sure that they can cancel you, which means try and ruin your life, ruin everything. One thing
I want to make something incredibly clear if you guys don't understand this. My audience is smart enough to get this. And anybody that might happen upon this video that didn't already know this. I wouldn't doubt that it was Jason Aldean's people who got the video pulled from CMT to create the controversy and the marketing. They wanted to rile these idiot-ass right-wingers up. And it's so easy. Just say you're getting censored by the left. The left's trying to cancel you, and it'll juice your numbers with that audience. Like trained fucking seals. You'll jump to the top of the iTunes charts because nobody that's cool uses iTunes anymore. So it's easy. You go on iTunes and it's like Jason Aldean and like 5 different remixes of some song you never heard of on the top of the charts. I did it. I looked the other day. That's why like it's like they juice their numbers to get to the top of the New York Times bestsellers, which is pretty much meaningless nowadays as well. So fuck all the way off, dude.
This week was a bunch of country music fans that could see through a lot of the bullshit, all right?
See through the bullshit.
I saw country music fans rally like I've never seen before, and it was pretty badass to watch, I gotta say. Thank you guys so much.
By rally, he means by his song.
So have people
Stream his song.
Everything's going on with this song. Do you think you're gonna play it tonight? Do you think you're not gonna play it? And I said, you know,
But my show on Apple Podcasts? Absolutely.
you know what I stand for. I've never shied away from that at all. And I know a lot of you guys grew up like I did. You kind of had the same values, the same principles that I have.
No, not at all.
Which is we want to take our kids to a movie and not worry about some asshole coming in there shooting up the theater, right?
Me too, man. I'm tired of it being just another day in a mass shooting USA. But your answer is probably more guns. Exactly, clinically.
So when somebody asks me, hey man, you think you're gonna play this song tonight? The answer was simple. The people have spoken, and you guys spoke very, very loudly this week.
See, it's a pussy-ass song. If you're gonna act like you're so hard and you're so badass, you should have a fucking, song that matches that attitude. But it's like that song's like a ballad or some shit. But I'm not going to let you out of here without hearing from a real musician on this. Jason Isbell was on, I think it was Morning Joe. It's always Morning Joe. At least we know it's not a book plug this time.
Grammy winner Jason Isbell is back with his latest studio album, Weather Vanes, which is not only making waves on the charts, but pushes for positive change. That song you just heard, it's titled Save the World, and it tackles the haunting reality of school shootings and the weight it places on worried parents, calling for a collective commitment to build a safer world for our children and generations to come. And the singer-songwriter joins us now. Jason, we're so pleased to have you with us this morning. Let's start right there with such a weighty topic for that song. I mean, some artists really shy away from controversial issues in their music, in their art. You didn't. You decided to take this one head on. Tell us why.
Yeah, I go right for it. What I'm trying to do when I'm writing these songs, thank you for having me on, by the way, but what I'm trying to do is document where I am in my life, an emotional sort of document of my situations, my worries, my fears, my concerns. And if I'm being honest with myself and I'm being honest with my audience, then I wind up writing about pretty honest topics like this. It was tough. It's a tough song to write, you know. It's such a heavy and loaded topic when I don't necessarily think it needs to be. It should just be something that we're all working together to try to resolve.
Jason, it's Jen Palmieri, and it's just such a delight to have you on the show. Full disclosure to everyone, I'm a very big Jason Isbell fan, and I'm proud that Lemire pronounced your name right. I worked real hard on that, too.
Got it. Yeah,
so,
you guys got it.
Clinton aide.
I was like, don't embarrass me, people. It's Isbell, not Isbell. We got it. So in addition to this, so Save Our World, I mean, the whole album, it's just phenomenal. But Save Our World, I mean, what I thought was interesting is you tackle this issue and the fear and the trauma that parents feel, but you don't try to prescribe a solution. You know, you're not, there's no refrain about banning.
She doesn't look like a real person.
That you're also doing this event on August 15th to raise money for gun violence prevention groups in Tennessee. But
her skin looks like a mannequin.
You know, what are you trying to achieve with putting this?
She's a lizard person. Hillary Clinton is a lizard person. I'm bringing it back.
So hard to help prevent gun violence.
First of all, Jen, good to see you, by the way. First of all, it's really hard to rhyme with assault weapons. Nothing really rhymes with assault weapons. And my job is to rhyme first and foremost. But, you know, what I like to do is be aware, and I like to make people on the other end of the line, people who are hearing these songs in their cars and their houses, I like to make them feel like they're not alone. I think sometimes that's the best that we can do as a songwriter. You know, because we don't spend most of our time studying numbers and statistics and ways to solve these issues. We're not politicians. Some people might talk like a politician. I do sometimes. But what I'm trying to do is let people know.
I assure you that Brian May is studying some numbers and statistics.
Oh, you're not alone when you feel this way, when you feel afraid. And I don't offer a whole lot of solutions because I don't have a whole lot of solutions. I just have this awareness that helps me write these songs. But in my non-creative life, I try to put as much of my action and as much as my money and as much of my effort as I can into making things fair and equitable and true and honest and safe and real for the people who are in my audience and the people that I know and the people I care about. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I did it any other way because I'm a very lucky person. I get to do something that I love.
Two-stepping an assault weapon.
Their parents.
It does.
Went to work every day and did a job that they hated, and I love going to work. So for me to be able to live with that, I have to really put my money where my mouth is and try to help some people sometimes.
You know, in that answer, you talked about just having people, making people feel heard, connected, giving them some kind of hope. And as we have discussed, your 2017 song, Hope the High Road, was not a small event in my life. It was a real lifesaver for me, for people who, coming off of Hillary having lost to Trump. And if people don't know the song, the key lyric I would share is, there can't be more of us than them. And also, but I'm not going to fight with you down on the ditch. I'll meet you up there on the road. And so it wasn't just, oh, kudos to Jason Isbell. He's willing to.
As I said, Hillary aide.
Anti-Trump song and
Jennifer Palmieri or Pulmonary or whatever the fuck.
Like, great. That's like good for you. But what was really important was you showed the nuance.
Yeah.
It's a monolith. Certainly the South is not. You come from a small Southern town, sharing what it's like in that small Southern town. And then we have sort of the polar opposite, this Jason Aldean song called Try That in a Small Town, which seems to me to be, rather than seeking to have people understand each other, divide the country. And I know you've spoken out against that, about that. What's it like? What do we need to know about your small town, Florence, Alabama, compared to the portrait that Jason Aldean is presenting to the world?
Well, I think in Jason Aldean's song, which he didn't write, other people wrote, but I think that what it appears to me that's happening is these sort of unfounded fears that small town Americans have. It's being capitalized on. So you're drumming up this fear that there's going to be riots in the streets and people burning the flag and people carjacking and the knockout game. I don't know how the knockout game wound up in
A lot of country artists don't write their own shit, to be fair.
That people just, walk up and punch other people on the sidewalk. I don't know how this wound up in there, but pretty much all these things point to a very specific group of people as the perpetrator. And they say, you should be afraid of these people. And let me sell you something while you're afraid of these people. The way I see it, most of the issues in my small town in Alabama, Green Hill, Alabama, Florence, Muscle Shoals, that area, most of the issues there are based around addiction, opioid addiction, painkiller addiction, people not able to get a great education.
Truth.
Or keep a job, and I write about this.
And the lack of
In a
jobs.
small town, I write about people who are
Industrial pollution.
addicted and trying to dig their way out. Or people
Right
who
down the road in Decatur, Alabama.
pride in themselves. Because I'm not trying to sell somebody a product. I'm trying to make something that is art and something that is creative. And I think a lot of people are missing the fact that all the instances in Jason Aldean's song are just paranoia. I mean, I think it's actually, I think the people who wrote it, the people who produced it, the people who released it, those people understand what's going on. But a lot of people in the audience think, what's wrong with this? He's just saying don't do bad things to people. But it's the particular bad things that they're focusing on. And none of those things are really a true danger to small town America. They're a danger to this concept of masculine whiteness, and that's the thing that's being traded on here, and I don't think that's okay. I think country music should be 3 chords in the truth, and that's not the truth.
The new
Boom.
album, Weather Vanes, is out now. Jason Isbell.
And that's why I wanted to play this interview.
Congratulations. Please keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Sorry you had to suffer through Jennifer Palmeretti talking about her recovering from Hillary losing in 2016. That was painful for me as well. And the music she cried to, apparently. Oh my God. Ghouls. She's a lizard person. Her skin didn't look real.